Alright, what's up yins guys? Gonna do another video here. Here's what I'm gonna talk about here too, and whether you're black or white watching this and you're sick of mainstream television religion, I'm gonna say another thing real quick too. I'm in a different town with nicer structures now. And the reason why I can't stand this is good. I'm going to tell you a little bit of this first. I'm going to talk about another video for one thing. Why I can't stand the modern structures and the modern buildings, ultra modern bullshit, and the same ultra modern bullshit is on these television religion. I was going to do that in a separate video, where unlike shit like that, this town that I moved in here has nice, wonderful structures, old churches, that I put that above mainstream television religion. I care more about the old school structures, really nice stone structures, wonderful stuff, and they're trying to do away with that and that ultra modern bullshit. But that's in for another video. But what I'm going to tell you this too is, if you're black or white watching, you swear a little bit once in a while, like some of us do, and you try to do what's right, okay? And plus you don't like what you see that's going on YouTube and on mainstream news. I don't care if you're black or white watching. You're tired of the bullshit. What I recommend you do, and the reason why I was showing you some of the things in my videos where I'm in a holiday charity out in the cold and I'm putting like $20 bills, putting a whole handful of $20 bills in the bucket of that charity that I do every year. There's a reason for that, and reason why you should do it too. And the reason why I do it, if you're black watching or if you're white watching, you want to get into it and do the stuff for free, because you can criticize these other people on TV any goddamn way you want to and be right. And I don't care if it's fucking Creflo Dollar or these raspy-voiced white guys, these raspy-voiced old men white guys, what's his name, Murdoch, and Kenneth Copeland with his psychotic eyes and all that. There was a guy on YouTube that did videos about him. Or that other guy on there, what's his name, Steve something Furnick or whatever. He is on there doing his wild tangents on stage, and all the audience is getting all aroused by that. And all these people on these stages, heavily funded, and they're on these fancy stages, big paychecks, private airplanes, and fancy cars. And the reason why you don't have to give a flying rat's ass about these people, you know fucking why, is because anybody out watching this, or if you're black or white and you even know anybody who's standing out in the cold for a charity that nobody wants to do anymore, that's actually I regard as not begging like some people do. It's a staple of communities. And plus, I said in videos too, anybody who is involved with it, black or white watching, or you have nobody who was involved in it or did it, if you ever did it, you have respect for stores. That means you don't condone the bullshit that was going on where people are smashing stores and getting free TVs and merchandise just because somebody got shot. Which it ain't funny that if a cop's accidentally or purposely cause the death, you don't do stuff like that. There's a right way to do things. But anyway, that is part of it. And another thing too is, the reason why I do it, I don't believe in doing that like righteous shit that people say it's unbiblical, you know. You don't go flashing the money and putting it in like you got the Pharisees of today doing it. I believe that if you're black or white watching this, there's a lot of people that have a demonic hatred for you. And cameras around, and they want to find bad in you because you believe in the truth or speak certain truth, even if you swear and all that. And they're out to get you. So you got to flash in the camera, and so nobody can say you're trying to spend money on crack. You're out there and yeah, you do something good and stand. What it is if you stand out in the cold and do something good, it makes these other people that are into that crowd, that mainstream crowd protest bullshit, which before this, there was other protests and stuff that made the news before this major protesting during this pandemic. But even before all this protesting and stuff got as bad, it makes people feel small. You go out and stand out in the cold to do something that's for poor black kids or white kids too. But yet, nobody wants to stand out in the cold anymore to get Christmas toys, money for Christmas toys and food, Christmas and Thanksgiving dinner for black kids, right? And white kids. But the thing I'm saying about black kids is because, yeah, people are doing all these protests on the behalf of people that are black, right? Yeah, they'll do that on a nice day. They're breaking things, even the ones that ain't breaking things. You can't prove they're breaking things, but people were breaking and vandalizing things. Even if they're not vandalizing things, they're still doing shit that's in crowds, hanging in crowds to show off, and they'll do it on a nice day. Everybody wants to do that, and the news is glorifying it, but nobody wants to stand out in the cold to do anything to help maybe a lot of the kids that want Christmas toys and families that need food, or black kids, black people. That goes unnoticed and nobody cares. As a matter of fact, you do a little bit of that, standing out in the cold. There's these other peoples out there, they're nice to your face, but they go spread around bad things about you, or they're looking for wrong. And like I said, even in one case, uptown I used to live, I was going to the base of the charity, the home base of the charity that's right not too far from the police station. And, every year go right by there with a dolly or wagon with like a bunch of stuffed animals and puppets I'd put on display or something. And, yeah, I get the police and find wronging you, like get you patted down and all that. And because somebody has a demonic hatred for you and they want to see, they found drugs on him, he's not what they say. But they didn't get the satisfaction. But yeah, there might be somebody I'm talking to out there that might be of color that happened to. And yet nobody made a public spectacle on the news about it, but they're out there. You know what I mean? So yeah, I had that happen in another town once, that I actually lived in for a while before I moved a bunch of years ago. But yeah, anyway, what I was trying to say, I went on about that, but what I'm telling you is I'm recommending that people do something. You don't have to give a flying rat's ass about the television preacher. I'm talking about the ones that are both black and white, that got all this money and they're on a stage in fancy clothes, and everybody's saying what they're supposedly doing for humanity, and they ain't doing a jack shit. And if you're black watching this, or if you're white watching this, I recommend that you're that kind of guy, like I'm that kind of guy. I want you to be that kind of guy that will stand out in the cold and do the stuff for free and throw the whole handful of money right in the kettle in front of cameras and in front of people on YouTube. And yes, it's to gain trust of the people, and it's also to tell your haters to go fuck themselves. And the way I see it, these people can kiss my ass with the Creflo Dollar and that, what's his name, Murdoch, and damn Kenneth Copeland and all these other raspy-voiced old men that are talking their shit on TV with airplanes and cars and a big paycheck. And then there's people out there in local organizations, charities, and community centers in towns that don't even have enough of funding for, say, even black kids, white kids, or then if you want to talk about black kids, people doing things on behalf of somebody of another race where they don't really care about them at all. the smaller groups. Excuse me, there's a truck coming. I gotta make room for him. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, there's organizations out there that actually will care about maybe, say, black people. Smaller organizations, they hardly get any funding. They're barely making it. Maybe churches, local churches that the towns are in ruins. But, oh, nobody is putting that on the news. But they'll put all this other garbage on the news, and then they got people on there with their damn shit on television. But